What is up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video. It's your boy Papa Boosted. Today we have the 2023 GR Corolla. We're going to be installing some Eibach sportline performance springs on it. I'm super stoked, ready to see what the stance on these new wheels looks like. I've seen a couple of these GR Corollas with these exact springs, and I love how they turned out. So let's go ahead and head to the hatch and check out the box that came from Eibach. We already got the cover off, so I can go ahead and show you guys. This is what the springs are going to look like. I'm super stoked to get this car jacked up, start working on it. Rears are going to be super easy. They're basic, simple. One bolt, drop to the bucket, put the new spring in. Fronts don't look too bad. There's no control arms we have to move out of the way. So let's go ahead and head on over to Beans. Let's get a cold start video on the car, and then once we get to Beans, I'll catch up with you guys on what we got going on. Real quick before we get into the cold start, just wanted to show you guys. Sorry if my voice sounds a little stuttery. It is freaking cold out this morning. I can barely feel my hands. It froze over the entire car. You guys won't be able to see the top because the car is white. But looking from the inside, you guys can see just how much buildup is on these windows. It did get pretty cold. Let me go ahead and give you guys a temperature check real quick just to show you guys. It is it is 38 degrees right now. It is freaking cold. I don't know what the low was last night, but it says 34 was the low. I'm freezing right now, so if I do sound stuttery, I do apologize, but let's get this mounted up on those bricks right there, and we'll get a cold start video before we get rolling. All right, everybody, we are loaded up in the car. Everything's all heated up, ready to go. We got Miss Boosted loaded up. We have Baby Boosted loaded up in the back seat as well. We are all ready to get this drive started. It's not a far drive. It's only about 20 minutes to get over to Beans' house. So we're probably going to stop and get Miss Boosted some food. She's a little hungry. We just woke up. And then I'm probably going to go ahead and get myself a coffee or something to keep myself awake because I'm pretty tired. All right, guys, so I didn't get to film it because the drive-through was absolutely atrocious, but we went ahead and got McDonald's. Beans' dad is going to be the one that's helping us out the most through this process. He's going to be showing us a little bit of tricks and stuff on what we should be doing instead of watching just YouTube tutorials. We want to learn hands-on instead. But we went ahead and got him breakfast. We got Beans breakfast, and then both of us breakfast. So all in all, we got, I think, 4 sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffins from McDonald's, 2 bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddles, 2 hash browns, and then we just both got 2 coffees between me and Miss Boosted. But we got all the food. We're ready to go. We're just waiting at this light right now, and then we will be over at Beans's here in like 15 minutes. All right, guys, we have made it to Beans's house.
What's up?
We're gonna go ahead and get the GR pulled in after we get done eating. We're gonna get it jacked up. We'll take a look at it, and I'll show you guys what we're working with. All right, guys, and we have these springs for the GR Corolla out right now. Here they are, laid out. Got the car in the garage. Let's go ahead and get this thing jacked up and ready to go. All right, guys, so before Beans' dad gets back out here and we get started, first things first, there's gonna be 2 pop tabs on this piece right here, this plastic trim. There might be a third one, I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly, but we'll figure that out once we get there. I'll tell you guys if there is. This lifts up, then reveals the strut bolts up top for this car. And then down below, there's the factory strut. It shouldn't be too bad. And they did say to remove these cables, just get them out of the way. That way they don't get damaged. And then there's a few bolts. There's these 2 big old bolts right here that we got to take off. And then this whole strut tower should come out pretty easily. It's the same thing on the driver's side as well. And then that should be it. If there's anything crazy that comes up in the middle of the teardown, then I will go ahead and show you guys that part as well. But that should be pretty much it for this. And then the rears are very simple. There's only 1 bolt that we have to take off for the rears to drop the bucket down. And then this car should not take very long at all, but anything that comes up that is bad, I'll keep you guys posted so you guys can look out for it when doing it yourself. All right, guys, so we went ahead and did this passenger side already. I didn't show too much of the process. We're kind of just rushing because we had to film another video, which took up a lot of the time. So we're just going to go ahead and we're rushing through this quite a bit, but there's this top strut right here. There's 3 bolts back here that we removed, or 3 nuts, I apologize. We got that out, and then down here, there are 2 bolts that run through here with 2 nuts on them. They look like these. You're gonna run them off. They're pretty easy. You might have to heat them up a little bit. We use the blowtorch. It's better than penetrant. Then you got to take the sway bar link off as well. There's this one cable that you have to take off. It's pretty simple. There's one bolt on it, and then I think 1 or 2 pop tabs, and you just tuck it in the back so it doesn't get damaged. And then the whole strut tower pretty much comes out. One thing I could recommend is leaving one nut on the top of the tower. That way, once everything down here is loose, you still have something holding that tower in place so it doesn't collapse on you. Right now we have one of the struts out of the car. We're working on it, getting it compressed so we can get the spring off of it. This is what it looks like right here. This thing compresses it right here, and then there's a little cover you do have to take off, and then this nut threads off. One thing to keep noted is this tab right here. You want to keep perfectly centered with this part of the strut once putting it back together, obviously. But that's pretty much it. Once this is compressed, take that nut off. This slides off. There is one nut up here, then there's a spacer, and then a washer that sits on the top of the rod right underneath all of this stuff. And then that's pretty much it. Then the new spring slides into the boot down here. You slide this piece back in, and then the whole cover just goes back on how it came off. All right, everybody, we just went ahead and finished up the front. I'm not going to show you guys until the very end what it looks like. We're working on that side right now. We have the bucket dropped already. I just wanted to show you guys what the process was for the rears. Much simpler than the fronts. There's this one bolt right here. That's all you have to take out. Put the lift right there, put some pressure on the bottom of the bucket, lift it up, then you can be able to back this bolt out very easily, and then slowly release the lift. It'll drop this bucket completely, and then you can just put your foot on this, on the bucket, pull the spring out, and then all you have to do is pop the new spring on, and then that is it. We're gonna go ahead and finish up the process on both sides, and then I'll show you guys the finished product. All right, guys, one more note real quick. It's when you're putting this bucket back into place, make sure to have the lift underneath it, help you apply the pressure, and then this bolt, just use that lift, push the bucket up until this bolt lines up, run the bolt in, and then you're all good. Just a little. All right, guys, the 2023 GR Corolla suspension is done. Like I said, these are the Eibach Performance Sportlines. This is the gap. I forgot to measure the gaps before and after, but as you guys can see from previous videos and everything, the gap has changed tremendously. I'll get better shots in the morning. All right, guys, so that will conclude today's video on the GR Corolla installing the Eibach springs. With how it turned out, I think it turned out pretty good. You can barely fit your hand in here. It's just barely a 2-finger gap in the rear. The fronts are like 1.5 finger. The gap is not that crazy up front. But what I was going to say earlier, I don't know if I mentioned it, but my wheel spec is a little more aggressive than the factory specs. So I do get a little bit of rubbing up in the front on like fast, aggressive turns, but if you guys are running close to stock parameters on the wheels, you guys will not run into any issues. So that's the only thing I experienced, but all in all, great ride quality. This thing is absolutely amazing. All right, but that will conclude today's video on the GR Corolla. I hope you guys did enjoy. Like I said, I love the car so much. If you guys could, drop a like on this video. Comment down below what you guys think about how the car turned out. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notifications so you get notified when I make more content on this GR Corolla. But that will conclude today's video. Peace, guys.